Today is December 25th, 2020, and Santa brought me a cool new present to try out. So in this video, I'm going to set up my REI Basecamp 6 tent without the rainfly, but because that's going to take a few extra minutes as I'm doing this by myself. So I'm going to be setting up the REI Basecamp 6 and timing that, and then comparing that to the new tent that just came today, the new Gazelle T4, and I'm going to set that one up too and compare the amount of time I should be saving, as well as the setup and a few other details of both tents. So join with me as I set up the REI Basecamp 6, followed by the Gazelle T4. And if you're not interested in seeing how long it takes to set up the Basecamp 6, I will put a timestamp on there for when the Gazelle setup begins. So see how it goes. So, might be thinking to yourself, is he done yet? Well, basically, yes. Basically, if I were to put the rainfly up, I would have yet one more pole that forms an eyebrow for the vestibule that will give you a nice place outside the tent for taking your boots off and such. With this design, and it pulls it out, you have more vertical sidewalls, which gives you the feeling that you have more space inside with more vertical walls. Now this tent is a big tent. I am 6 feet tall and I can stand up in the middle, and so it's nice for me. I can throw a cot on this side and I can stand up, stretch, and I have some place I can have a chair and a table in here and weather some storms, you know. If you get a week of rain, you have some place to kind of set up and be out of the weather. Downsides, obviously, is the amount of time it takes to set up. And as you will soon see, the amount of time it takes to tear down as well. But I'll go into a more in-depth review of this tent sometime in the future. If you're, car camping with a family, or if you want to take the extra time to set up and tear it down as you're overlanding, this is a good compact tent. Compact is relative, but a compact tent to take on adventures that would give you plenty of room. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the Gazelle tent and set it up. Now this is going to be a little bit small probably for the Gazelle, but I'm going to set it up beside the REI tent so that you get a side-by-side view of them as well. Okay. First thing you might notice about this Gazelle tent is, wow, it is not compact for carrying in a vehicle. But we'll see if there's different pros and cons with this bad boy. The REI tent I have set up now 3 times. Today makes 4 times by myself and once with my family. But this will be the first time to even open this guy up and look at it. So. Okay, well, that was most definitely faster. Okay, so side by side, they're about the same size. Yes, this one was most definitely faster. So, pros and cons. All right, when packed up, this is less than half the total length of this. Other pros and cons, I'm sorry I didn't bring the rainfly for this, but the rainfly is full coverage. It'll go all the way to the ground, have a nice big vestibule on the front, a vestibule on the back, so you have coverage when you're going in and out of the tent. Cons with this bad boy, right off the bat, it is pretty long. If you're in a car, and you're with family, yeah, this just wouldn't be the right tent for you, I don't think. Even for me, I drive a Subaru Forester. It will fit in the back with the seat folded down, no problem. But if I'm traveling with my family, I have a fridge and stuff like that in my Subaru, so it would have to go up on the roof rack to travel with it. This will fit inside anywhere, even in a, Toyota Camry or something like that. You can take your family camping in this tent, no problem, even in a Toyota Camry. This guy, I don't think that would work out. Other cons. This tent, as you can see, has a nice big door. Easy to get your stuff in and out of. It's got a nice dash pocket up here to store the door. The vestibule is almost the same size as this door. So when it is open, you can easily carry stuff in and out. I can stand in the door, a little bit hunched over, but I don't have to crawl to get in and out. of this tent, or even with the rain fly on, I just have to bend over. My wife can just walk in and out. She's 5'2". She can walk in and out. Make it easy to get gear in and out of the tent. Whenever I camp by myself, I take a cot, just because it's more comfortable for me to be up off the ground. When my wife goes, we have a queen size REI Kingdom air mattress, which is a lot more expensive than your standard air mattresses, but I do highly recommend it. Recommend the upgrade to a mattress like that. This tent, you can't really see it so much at this camera angle, but I'll move the camera in a minute, has a little tiny door, and you do have to duck to get in and out. The rain fly obviously is not full coverage. I would hope that this material would be very waterproof, but that is to be seen. This material is not. This is a lot thinner tent material. It is not waterproof at all. If you leave your rain fly off, it will get wet. This is a much heavier duty material for sure. I don't know how waterproof it is. We'll see, because inevitably when I go camping it rains or snows. So we will see about the waterproofness of this tent. I'm gonna move the camera here so we can take a look at the door. One major disadvantage so far, as you could see, the REI tent had a huge door, easy to get in and out of. With the rain fly on, you got a nice vestibule to keep your shoes in. You can take your shoes on and off outside the tent, not get your tent muddy. This tent does not have a vestibule, so you'll be tracking your muddy shoes or boots inside the tent, so I'll have to consider that and carry like a doormat or something inside for the shoes to go. If it's driving rain, you will get wet getting in and out of your tent. Water will get inside. With the vestibule on the other tent, yeah, vestibules are cool. Other downside obviously is the size of this. I could pretty much just walk in and out of the other tent. This one, as you can see, is a bit awkward. It is roomy enough inside. Again, I can stand up in the middle, which is nice. The side walls are pretty vertical, so you feel like you got a lot of space, even though this is a smaller tent. It doesn't really feel that much smaller compared to the other one, so that's nice. Plenty of room for my cot. Again, a chair and a table. If my wife camps with me, our queen size mattress will still fit in here. We'll just do like we did with our old Sierra Designs tent, and we'll slide the tent to one side and we'll exit out this, enter and exit out of here, and I think we can still make that work. But again, definite downside with the door design and no vestibule. You know, pros and cons. This tent is designed for, you know, setting up in 90 seconds, getting ready for bed, getting up in the morning, tearing it down, hopefully in 90 seconds to 2 minutes or so, and being on the road again, as opposed to the other tent. I'm guessing 15 minutes setup and a good 10 to 15 minute tear down. So for quick and easy overnights and stuff like that, this will be a clear winner as far as setup and teardown time. All right, I had to switch cameras. Didn't realize I was going to be doing a Nikon versus Canon comparison here too, but I forgot to come with charged batteries, so swap out the Canon for the Nikon. So right now I am going to strike the REI tent, and then I'm going to move the REI tent, and then I'm going to move the Gazelle over more to the center and talk a little bit more about that, I think. But we are going to start the clock now and see how long it takes for this bad boy to be struck and put away neatly. So it still took over 10 minutes to strike this tent without the vestibule. Add 4 minutes for that. Now comes the time for me to take this bad boy down and see how long it takes. And I'm going to start the timer now and go for it. Fully complete. First time with this, I'd say not too bad. Not too bad. So that's with the rainfly on this, no rainfly on that. Add 4 more minutes at least for the rainfly for this guy, because it is a beast to fold up. In fact, the reason I didn't bring it today is because it is all laying out in the garage from the last camping trip, because it's a pain to roll up by myself. So yeah, so I'd say 4 minutes to do the rainfly for the other tent. So that would give us 15 minutes total strike time to 6. I'll take that on my solo trips. Side by side, that's how much more room the Gazelle would take up from the REI Basecamp. So Gazelle, not a perfect addition for car camping, but for throwing on the roof rack and overlanding, I think it'll work out for me. This has been the first episode of XP Overland, demonstrating the pros and cons, but more importantly the setup and teardown time difference between the REI Basecamp 6, which is a great tent for car camping and even overlanding, and the Gazelle T4, a welcome addition that I'll be using on my solo trips. If you do like what you've seen today and you want to see more, whether it's, audio and video for adventure travel, traveling in a Subaru Forester, if you like fly fishing, or heck, you just like, beautiful places. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to get videos up as often as I can with what I have to work with here in Oklahoma. I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching XP Overland.